Your reaction to seeing these photos from the White House, they say that are military planes deployed for these deportations. And I guess one of the things that we should talk about, shouldn't the White House or the administration be giving some kind of access to independent journalists so we can witness this firsthand as opposed to getting these takeouts from the White House?
I mean, I think press access for this is going to be very important. But I think we also need to really try and get context and understand what is happening and what is different than what we are seeing before. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, came out with a statement that said that they had arrested 538 people yesterday. And that is about double what we have seen previously. So indeed, we are now seeing stepped up enforcement. There has been some allegations that they are going into private places and not using warrants. That is illegal. So again, is that different? What are we seeing that is actually different? And that's going to be the thing that's going to tell us if this is actually effective, who they're targeting, and where are they targeting people. One of the concerns about this is that they're really going to be targeting people in blue cities and blue states. That is different than what we saw during the first Trump administration, where they were doing raids in North Dakota and red states and rural areas. This seems to be targeted in places that are blue states. So what does that tell us? Does that tell us that this is politically motivated, that they're trying to instill fear in immigrant communities in blue areas as opposed to red areas? You know, all of these things, as we're looking at this enforcement operation, we have to really think about what it means and what is the administration actually trying to achieve.
It's pretty obvious what the administration is aiming for here. They're trying to deport as many illegal immigrants as possible, focusing first on violent criminals. That's the priority. And the reason they're targeting blue cities and sanctuary cities is simple. That's where the majority of these criminals are. These cities are essentially set up to shield them. It's common sense. What's baffling is how this so-called journalist, Lulu Garcia Navarro, doesn't seem to grasp basic logic. The focus on sanctuary cities isn't about politics, it's about reality. These cities are hotspots for illegal immigrant criminals because the laws in place, pushed by Democrats, make it easy for them to operate without consequence. What's even harder to understand is why the liberal media and the left keep fighting against what the American people voted for. The individuals being arrested, detained, and deported are here illegally, and many have committed horrible crimes, including acts of violence against women and children. It's not rocket science. It's about enforcing the law and protecting communities. Why that's still up for debate is beyond me.
Aaron, the officials here, the Illinois governor, Chicago's mayor, people I've spoken with, other, the congressman who represents this area, they have all made very clear they have no problem with these stepped up enforcements against violent criminals. But what they are very concerned about is that these enforcements are also going to capture people who otherwise have no criminal record. And so that is the major concern here. They say outreach is absolutely critical. So what the city of Chicago did today, Aaron, was unveil a Chicago Transit Authority-wide video system display that is a Know Your Rights display. Again, that is going to be out throughout the Chicago Transit Authority system. Aaron, a lot of major questions remain, though.
The Democrats' stance on ICE raids is completely contradictory. They say they're not against ICE targeting illegal immigrants who've committed violent crimes. But if that were true, those criminals would already be in local jails. Instead, these individuals are walking free, and that's why ICE has to step in with raids in the first place. Here's the twist. During these raids, ICE often finds these violent offenders surrounded by other illegal immigrants, and some of them inevitably get swept up too. Democrats claim to hate this, but it's their sanctuary city policies that make it unavoidable. If these cities actually cooperated with federal law enforcement, local police could detain violent criminals, and ICE could quietly pick them up from jail. No big raids, no drama. But instead of working with ICE, Democrats double down on policies that protect illegal immigrants, even those who are dangerous. It's ironic. They claim they want to avoid innocent people getting caught in raids, yet their own policies make those raids necessary. They're creating the exact problem they pretend to be against. And let's be real about their game here. What they really want is a headline about an American citizen accidentally caught in a raid. They'd use it to cry racism and push the narrative that ICE is targeting people just because they look like immigrants. It's all part of their political playbook to stir outrage and make Trump's administration look bad. So don't be fooled. When you hear stories about citizens getting caught up in ICE raids, remember who created the chaos in the first place. It's not about fixing the system, It's about scoring political points and keeping the cycle going.